This video is a simple demonstration of the school property tax spiral, where in a high-tax school district, ever-increasing property taxes create a higher and higher percentage of homes with school-age children in public schools. This increasing number of school-age children increases school costs and thus, in turn, increases property taxes, creating a self-reinforcing feedback loop. It might not be readily apparent why and how this could happen, but let's start out with a simplified picture of a block in Oak Park. The green homes have no children in the schools. For simplicity's sake, each home with school-age children is only given 2 children. The children can either be in a private school or a public school. The no children and private school homes pay into the school system but don't incur any public school costs. The public school homes both pay into the system and cause the school system to incur costs educating their children. We start out with 12 households. 3 of them have kids in public schools, 2 have kids in private schools. To calculate the tax bill, I take the total cost to educate the public school students and divide by the number of households. In the beginning, this is 6 times $17,000, or $102,000. Then, divided by 12, we get the resulting tax bill of $8,500 per household. Now, this is just taxes for the school. There are also some taxes for non-educational spending, about $3,500 to start. This roughly matches the proportion of educational to non-educational spending that we have here in Oak Park. In the beginning state of this neighborhood, we see that the public school families benefit from all the households who do not have kids in the school. Everybody's tax bill is about $12,000, but the schools spend $34,000 on each family with kids in the school. This is really a pretty good deal, and you might have heard realtors sell Oak Park this way. This is as it should be. The entire community helps to pay for the education of its children. The cost is spread out, and parents don't have to bear the entire burden of their children's education. Ideally, they pay into the system before they have kids and after their kids have left school. It spreads the cost out over time and across the community. But for folks without kids in school, as property taxes get ever higher, doing their public duty to share the educational burden might start to run up against budgeting realities, especially for people on fixed incomes. That retired couple next door, they talk to the retirement advisor and just can't make the math work out anymore. And so they move. Because taxes are getting pretty high and the schools are very good, they are quickly replaced with a school-aged family. Increasingly, the schools are the only way for new residents to justify the cost of the taxes. But if you look in the upper right-hand corner, this impacts the tax math per household. Taxes have gone up because a household that was a net donor to the school system is now a net beneficiary. Now that nice couple without kids who bought the fixer-upper, they notice the increased taxes and aren't really planning on having kids anytime soon. They decide to sell their place at a profit and move someplace cheaper. They too are replaced by a family with school-age kids. Taxes go up again. Now the families that were in private schools are starting to wonder if they can afford both the property taxes and the extensive cost of private school. They decide to re-enroll in public schools. This increases enrollment and property taxes go up to pay for it. Now property taxes are so high that the only people who can justify them are people with school-age children. Almost all new moves will be either a replacement of a school-age family with another such family or a new family with school-age children. We can see the feedback loop here, where increasing property taxes force out families who don't have kids and attract families with kids, which then increases property taxes, eventually leaving few net donors to the school system. In the end, if every home has school-aged kids, property taxes must eventually converge on the full cost of the school system. Property taxes become a full-price tuition bill. Now, this is just a simplified example. It condenses the trends that result from decades worth of demographic shifts across all of Oak Park into a few minutes on a single toy block. But it clearly demonstrates the undeniable mathematics of the situation. In reality, there will always be some people who choose or who can afford to live here without kids, and we should really do all that we can to keep them here. I've heard people who denigrate seniors who complain about property taxes. Well, then move to Florida if you don't like the taxes, they say. I wonder if these people realize who's paying for their kids' education. You might question if a demographic tax spiral is actually occurring in Oak Park right now. Well, between 2008 and 2018, elementary school enrollment increased from approximately 5,000 to 6,200 students. And this isn't because Oak Parkers are having more babies. New families with school-age children moved in. The elementary school levy also increased in the same time frame by an amount that's almost exactly proportional to the increase in enrollment when you take into account increasing wages. I hope that this video has helped explain the dynamics of the school system property tax spiral in a high-tax school district. Thank you for watching.